My name is Eric Campbell. I'm an engineer with the Greensboro Fire Department. This truck is going to serve the citizens of Greensboro, North Carolina. It's going to replace a truck that's approximately 20 years old. It does more than just fill bottles on calls. It provides supplies for rehab. It also provides supplies for the guys whenever they're done with a fire to clean their gear with. We do a hood exchange. We have a hood exchange program in Greensboro. And so and we take all the hoods back and wash them whenever we're done with a call. This truck is Sutphen's first two-door cab that they made. This truck only has one person assigned to it for 24 hours. There's 3 shifts in the Greensboro Fire Department, so there's one person assigned for each shift. So we really don't need room for extra people when there's only one. We may have one person ride with us occasionally. So we made compartments. We put compartments back here to store like the gear for the driver. And we're kind of a catch-all truck. So we carried anything that might be needed within the fire department, like extra medical supplies, tools, you name it. So we just tried to build as much space on this truck as we could, because it's hard telling at any point in time what we could be carrying or what we might be doing. All right, on this side of the truck, we have large amounts of compartment space. We carry extra supplies for rehab. We do have occasions in the city of Greensboro where we have multiple calls at one time, so we stress rehab in our department pretty strongly. So this will allow us to drop a cooler, drop supplies, and be able to go to the next call to fill bottles. And as we'll see when we get to the other side, we have bottle storage capacity, so we could even leave bottles if we need to. We also carry an extra, or have a place for an electric PPV fan. Sometimes we get on calls, and if something were to happen to one of the ladder trucks fans, or if they just need additional fans, there's another fan on scene that we can help use to ventilate the structure. So on this truck, we put a 7,000 PSI Bauer compressor. From what I'm understanding, this is the first time that a 7,000 PSI compressor has been put in a mobile application. The storage cylinders, I know they're rated for 6,600 PSI, but we wanted to have the capacity to be able to fill those up good. And basically, you have a 7,000 PSI compressor is going to fill the bottles quicker too. When designing this truck, we try to make it as easy as possible to maintain things. For the filters for the compressor, SVI-built us a slide-out tray, so we can get to them, not have to climb up into the truck like we did the other one. We do have an onboard generator, obviously, to run the compressor, and we got an auxiliary power cord just in case something on scene needs to have electricity, and we're there and we can do that too. Because on this truck, we try to get as close to the fire scene as possible, try to get close to the first in pumper, so that way when the guys come out of the fire, they can come here for rehab and get their bottles filled so they don't have to walk. So sometimes this truck ends up being the closest one for an electrical supply if it's necessary. And we're also in here, the straps you see here, we're planning on putting a table up. So if we need to put a table up, if it's a long incident, sometimes we have incidents that can run for hours and this truck's there. We're gonna have tables and chairs so we can put out. And as you can see, we have up above, we have the nice powered awnings that are gonna come out and provide shade, because sometimes we do have shade, sometimes it is raining, and it's nice to be able to get out of the weather to help everybody in the rehab process. Okay, on this side of the truck, you'll see that we have a toolbox. We do carry tools to do repairs, some minor repairs on SCBAs in the field, to work on the panel if we need to. We also, on this side, have a portable rack system, so when we get on scene on a call, you can put racks down on the ground that hold the SCBA tanks, so you're keeping them off the ground. And also you'll see a low pressure reel in there, and it's to you can fill up tires, you can fill up water cans on scene, or even run some air tools. There also is a high pressure reel that runs off the back that can fill the high pressure tanks on ladder trucks. If we're on scene of a fire and there's guys working in the aerial device, and the aerial device gets low on air, you can fill it. You can also fill, we have a regional response team that has a cascade system in it. You can take this truck to that station and fill the cascade system, or we have a USAR team that has high pressure bottles as well, and we can go fill those at the station so they don't have to try to drag it to our station to fill it. And you can see we have 14 bottles. There's 4 in this compartment and 10 in this compartment. Based off of our experience on the last truck, we didn't have this much storage capacity. We're putting this much storage capacity on there because on calls running 5,500 PSI bottles, it does not take long to run out of your storage. And the hope is that we're going to be able to be on scene and fill bottles quicker and more of them before our capacity goes down, and then we're able to keep up with what's going on. So on this side, you'll see that we have a 55 bottle storage capacity. There again, like I said, sometimes we get multiple calls, and this would allow us to drop bottles on scene for the guys that are on scene so they can fill, and then we can go to the next one. Then we move on down a little bit. There we have 2 refrigerators here. We stress rehab. This is also a rehab unit. We usually keep Gatorades and water in here, and there again, if we get multiple calls, we can drop a cooler, leave the supplies there, and then go to the next one. Because it's not just structure fires. There's gas leaks, other hazmat leaks, or if there's a call that's real long duration, we try to roll this truck out for the rehab. In this compartment, we have the controls for the Command light KL Slim with the high vis fixtures on it. And there again, this truck is kind of built to grow in. We're gonna, probably on this side though, we're gonna actually have the, like I was telling about the program, like the hood exchange program. We're gonna carry our spare hoods and other decon supplies. We carry the baby wipes and stuff like that with us, and this will probably be all on this side, so when the guys come to get rehab supplies, they can change out their hood, grab the stuff to do a quick decon with. And then moving on up to this compartment, we have power. Up here, we're planning on putting a bank charger in for batteries for radios, because there is power in this compartment. And that way, there again, when we're on a long scene, sometimes we run out of batteries on radios, and all the trucks do not have chargers on them. This truck's going to be here. It's going to have the capacity to be able to charge the batteries as well. Okay, so on the front of this truck, you can see we put a blind spot mirror so we can see, because like I said, you're by yourself, and then you can see the front corner easier whenever you're turning close to things. We also added the cutout on the grill. We do have a lot of Sutphen engines in the city of Greensboro, and like I said, this will help people identify when it's pulling up on scene, that they don't get this confused with a Sutphen engine, that they can read mobile air. We also did put the fire tech headlights on there, and one of the features that we did that we haven't done on any of the other trucks is we put the wig wag feature on the halo portion of the headlight. Traffic is hard to get traffic out of the way, and this is hopefully just to help grab attention. We made it to where the halos on these fire tech headlights would flash.